Hello and welcome to Katrinas Creations. This is our Friday edition, and today we are going to be talking about where to find craft fairs to participate in. So I am hardly the authority on this because Kim and I do craft fairs together, and I'll be perfectly honest, I have to give all of the credit to her because she's the one that has found 99.9% of all the craft fairs we do. The one that I found last year was a total dud. That was our worst one that we've ever done, and I was the one that found that. But so feel free down below, Kim, if you want to chime in with any other ideas other than the things I mentioned. So the first ideas would be word of mouth. Ask friends if they go to different craft fairs, find out more about them, where the vendors are, where you contact for your vendors' information, things like that. You can also look in your local newspaper, your local grocery store, or some stores, some restaurants and things will post events, you know, like on a bulletin board or something. You can find it there. If you have a website, like in this area, there's a website called Nextdoor, and it's for like regional areas, and people post in there sometimes. It's sort of like a Facebook, but more local. So that's a place that you could check for events. Facebook itself has an events where you can kind of narrow it down to your area, and I'm going to insert a clip. I showed a demonstration on how to do that, so I'm going to stick that in so you can see how to get to that event selection on Facebook. So I'm going to stick that in now so you can see it. All right, from your home page on Facebook, you're going to go to the left here and scroll down here to events. There's events. Then over here it says discover events. You can put in your location, the date you're looking for, and then it will lessen this feed and narrow it down. And then if you see something you're interested in, you just click on that picture. It gives you more information, and you can scroll down. There's the details. And in this case, I already checked this one out, but in this case, it says registration link coming soon. You can go right through all of this to get your contact information if it's an event that you are interested in. So that's how I find them on Facebook. Other options too, I have just gone on and Googled craft fairs or vendor events. Sometimes it's under vendor event because it isn't necessarily a craft fair you're going to. For instance, when Kim and I do Good Old Days, which is in Littlestown, Pennsylvania, it's not billed as a craft fair, but a lot of the vendors are selling crafts. So you might just look under community events. That might be an option too, is just to Google community events in, and then the area that you're looking for, whether it's your county or your town, or, you know, with however far you're willing to drive for your event. So you can Google that way. I have done that before for my entire state, and then narrowed it down a little bit to find some that were in the area. So those are some options. One other option, if you are at a craft event, would be to talk to some of the other vendors that are there and ask different places that they have sold at and whether they were good or not. That's always a help too, because sometimes you talk to other vendors and they're like, this one wasn't that great, or this one was. My brother goes to a lot of craft fairs because he has his own crafting business, and I've talked to him and said, you know, which ones are good, which ones aren't, what are some tips. Some of the tips that I would give myself are, when you're first starting out, don't go for the really expensive ones, because if it doesn't work out, in order to make enough money to make it worth your while, you've got to take into consideration the time to get there, the gas that you've spent to get there, the cost or fees involved, and you've got to make all of that profit back, all of that back, before you start making a profit for the day. So if you're just starting out, you know, I wouldn't go into some of these vendor events where they're going to charge a couple $100s for craft fair. Work your way up to that. Do some little ones first. Sometimes you can even find free ones. We found a free one this last year. I say we, Kim found it, where it was at a campground. And it was just something they were giving a try for the first time. It didn't cost anything. We also did another one that was at a senior living nursing home. It didn't cost anything. They asked for a donation. So those are always good to check out as well. But your community newsletters, your community billboards or something like that are always your best bet. And talking to other people that sell at craft fairs, that is probably one of the top recommends, because they can tell you which ones they found are successful, which ones are really not worth your time. And you need to know the crowd that you're going to be going to be selling things. And that kind of was where my mistake was last year with the one that was a dud. When I looked at it, it turned out it was more of they were billing it as a flea market, but most of the people that were there were very few people that were selling like used items, flea markets. Most of them were craft type of vendors that showed up, and all of us were saying it didn't go over well because people that came to it were anticipating cheap prices. They were looking for flea market finds for, you know, they were not looking at spending money for craft items. So yeah, you have to know the audience, whether it's going to be worth your time or not. Weigh out the mileage it's going to take you to get there. And yeah, so a lot of factors play into it. And some of it is just trial and error. There have been some places where Kim and I have gone and it's been, oh, that was great. We'll do it again next year. Then there's been other places where we both went, nope, that wasn't worth our time. You know, we got back our investment of, you know, our fee, but we didn't make it enough money to make it worth sitting there all day long. So again, some of it is just kind of feeling your way through it and trial and error. But the references that I've discussed as far as your paper, your local newspaper, local community pages, going online and Googling for community events for your area, those would be the top ideas. So I hope you found this part of the segment helpful. And the next segment is going to be our Getting to Know You, which used to be called Meet the Maker. We decided that probably wasn't the best title. So today's viewer is Sally Thibodeau, and she is going to be telling you a little bit about herself. I'm very envious. She has a dream box. If you don't know what a dream box is, they are like 4 big units for craft supplies, and it all folds up into like a cabinet. But when the whole thing opens up, it's like 4 wide and it's like 9 feet. And then it has like a table that folds down for crafting and sewing and things like that. They're very, very nice. And she's got one. So yes, dream box envy. So I hope you enjoy this segment, getting to know Sally a little bit better. She does post in Show and Tell on a regular basis. So if you would like to be a contributor to the Getting to Know You segment, if you have your own YouTube channel or something like that, and are interested, it's a good way for self-promotion. Yeah, you're welcome to contact me over at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, and I will send you the simple questionnaire. And all you need to do is answer the questions and send me some pictures. I put the segment together. You don't have to do all the technical stuff or anything. So I hope you will consider participating in this, because we all like to get to know each other a little bit better in our little crafting community. So with that, I am going to turn it over to the Getting to Know You, and you guys can get to know Sally better. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.